Hey everybody, welcome back to art class. Oh, it's great to see you. That's me, Matthew Reinhart, and I'm your art teacher, and we're back in art class. Today, we're gonna make something fun. It's gonna be a long weekend, right? And so it's gonna be Memorial Day. So I thought it'd be really cool if we could make something that we could play with, right? So today, we're gonna make our very own game board and game. We're gonna make a board game, and it's gonna have a little pop-up element on it because, you know, it's me and I make pop-ups, so I thought we'd make something a little cool. What we're gonna need for this project today, class, is we're gonna need some just cardboard from a box. So what I did was I cut this out, and this needs to be about the same size as a regular piece of cardstock. I already pre-cut it, see? So it's just from a box. It doesn't matter if it's got a fold on it, it doesn't matter. But it needs to be the same size as, you know, 8.5 by 11 paper. Okay, so you need 2 pieces of cardboard. All right, so we got that from a box. We're gonna need at least 2 pieces of, we're gonna need, 2 pieces of the same color cardstock. That's gonna be the base for our board. And then we're gonna need some more cardstock, maybe 2 more pieces that we're gonna make the pop-up elements for, maybe 2 or 3 pieces. Just have some extra. It doesn't matter what color you use. I'm gonna use some white, I think, for the pop-up elements. And then maybe some construction paper if you got it. Like, see this pile over here? This is my scrap pile of stuff. So over here, that's just stuff that I've, cut up, or, there might be, pieces out of it, but I always keep my scraps just in case I'm gonna use it later on. We're gonna use that later. So scraps of paper, different color paper, whatever you wanna use. You could even use scraps of felt, whatever. We're gonna use that later on for the game board. You're gonna need markers or color pencils or crayons. We're gonna need tape. We're gonna need 2 kinds of tape. We're gonna need regular one-sided tape, like clear like this. Oops, I just knocked something over. And maybe some masking tape. Let's see what else. Oh, scissors. We always need scissors, right? Sharpened pencil. Keep your pencil sharp. Should we get started? Okay. Let's start with making the basic game board, all right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 pieces. This is going to be my game board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these 2 pieces. These are 2 pieces of cardstock. This is going to be the base for our game board, and we're going to build stuff onto this. And what I want to do is I want to connect these 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this masking tape, because masking tape has some fibers in it, and it doesn't break very easily. Regular plastic tape sometimes can break. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, it's sticky side up, and I'm gonna put it along one edge, just like this, from behind. See how I did that? So this is the sticky side up, and it's sticking to it, right along that long edge. All right, now, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect this piece to it by sticking the other piece on. So we're going to make an extra large, it's almost like we're making one extra large piece of paper. And you're going to see how I have a little teeny line down the, see how it's just almost connected, but not quite. See how it has that little bit of white line? See that? That's just the tape being slightly exposed. So you do not want to, when you add this piece of paper, you don't want to overlap them. We don't want that. We want them just to be very slightly, if you can see, very slightly apart. And uh-oh, I got extra tape. What do I do? Oh, I just don't know. What should I do? Cut it off. Just like that. We don't need that extra tape. And now we have one giant, it's almost like we have one giant piece of paper now. And it's attached. And it's real nice because the masking tape is a lot more flexible. And so it will open and close and be fine. So that's going to be the base. First, what we need to do, let's take another piece of cardstock. We're going to cut a corner off of it. Kind of like, let's see, we're going to cut it like this. See that? Doesn't matter if it's not the same. It doesn't matter. Okay? So we cut that corner off, and we're going to fold it in a way, we're going to make a V fold, all right? And we're going to fold it in a way so that this edge lines up with this edge. Just watch. Let's pull in close. Don't you love the sound effects I make when we pull in close? It's like, Okay, so see what I'm doing? Lining up that edge. See how I did? I lined up that edge. I'll pull it even closer. So don't do it willy-nilly. Don't do it like that. We don't want it to not, we want them to be lined up really carefully. So line up there, line up right there. Looks pretty good. And then, now, what do we do usually to make that fold? We could use our finger and we could rub it along there. Or you could use the edge, the handle of our scissors, and we could just rub it on there. So now, see that nice fold there? So this is what is called a V-fold. We're going to just lay this on our new game board. Okay, this is where it's going to get kind of weird. And we are going to use our pencil. We're not actually going to tape this to the game board, which is a different way of doing things. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to make a pencil line. One that way. One there. And see, we just made lines. See that? How we did that? So we just put it, and I put it about halfway through, halfway to the middle right there. Just like that. That's all we did. After we've done that pencil line right there, we're going to make another V shape on top of it. Like right here. Right about, that looks good. There. Oops. Make sure you hold it down. One there. And one there. Okay? See what I just did? So you've made 2 marks. And that's all we're really going to use this for right now. That gave us some lines. And now, what we're going to do is we are going to make another shape. Let's get another piece of cardstock. And let's fold it in half. Like this. All right. And when we fold it in half, then we're going to cut this in half. Just like this. Okay, and what we're going to end up doing is we're going to fold it in half again. Now, we're going to use our ruler, and we're going to make some marks. We're going to make marks every inch. Let's see, we're going to make, let's do it this way. Okay, see the one? Let's do this. Use your ruler. We're going to mark it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. And then, once we marked it on both sides, then we're going to bridge the marks. See how I did this? See how I'm bridging those marks? I'm just going to bridge the marks across. Oops, that was a little off. Oopsies. So what we need to do is we're kind of making a grid. We're going to make a little bit of a grid so we can build a stair, some stairs to go on our game board. Ooh, it's going to be cool. And next I'm going to show you how to make a dice. Okay, so we did that. Okay. Now we can start. Now this part we can be a little bit more, we can be a little bit more easygoing about this. We're going to make steps. 1, 2, 3. I made it too, oops, I did it wrong. We need to make this one closer in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So see how, let's see if you can see that. Can you see that? That's the way to. So now, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're going to do, since it's folded in half, now we can cut it. Let's make sure you can see it. Now we have a full set of stairs. It's like a little pyramid that we made. Look at that. 1, Cool. And here's the next thing we're going to do. Remember that other piece of paper that we cut? We're going to trace it. That's right. You heard me. It's okay to trace. This is cool because we don't have to make this the same on these edges. So I'm going to, even though the top's going to be the same, what we're not going to cut this out yet. But now we need to connect these two, right? And we're going to use some of our scrap. We're going to measure. Let's go back to our game board. And the actual step that goes on here, we have to make it the same width as this. So and what we're doing is we're using V-folds and layers. But we're just going to measure this. This is going to be our prime step. It's going to be right here. Okay, so that's the width that we're going to use. Okay? And so what we need to do is we need to have a bunch of these, and we're going to attach them here, 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 here. And then we're going to attach it to our V-fold. So let's get started. Here's how we're going to do it. Let's make a bunch more at this width. So we got to make more these little strips. And what I think we're going to do is just make them kind of small like this. So we need to see how I'm kind of putting one up on each for now, like just to get the size right. So we need to put one there, 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 and there. All right, and then we need the same on the other side. All right, here's how we're going to put it all together. This is going to be a little tough. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. We'll use a little bit of masking tape. And what I'm going to do is, now you know what? I think, no, we're going to use masking tape. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of masking tape. We're going to connect it to that little stair. And let's do that for all of them. Now, you're going to notice that on the top, I'm not going to do it in the middle. I'm only going to do it on one side. You can either choose the right or left side. It doesn't matter. All right, so we've taped all the little stairs onto our steps here, except for this one up here. Okay, so they're taped to it. Now we're going to turn it over. And let's get that other one. Remember the one that we drew on? Where is it? It's right there. Remember we drew on this? Let's make sure it's folded down the center because we didn't do that. It has to be folded right down the center. Oh, that's really bright. So see how I did that? That's just what we're going to do now is we are going to tape it to itself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use let's use clear tape. It's easier. We're going to use clear tape because it's going to be shown. And we're going to put a little clear tape. See how I did that on that edge? We're going to do that on each one of these, with the sticky side going down. So I did that. And then we're going to line it up with our drawing. Remember how we had it? Line it up. See how the edge of the drawing there, is it lined up in the center? Yes. So now we just tape it down. And now that those are taped down, look, we made stairs. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So those are going to be our pop-up stairs. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Okay, so let's do it to the other side. All right, so I taped each of the steps just like that, up and down. See how that is? And if you look, like, it folds and does this. But we got to do some cutting now. So let's get our scissors. And do you see that sort of curved line? I'm going to cut out that curved line, just kind of like this. Oops, my tape. I cut my tape, so I'm going to have to retape that. That's no big deal. This is going to be the back of our sort of pop-up thing. Here, let me retape that. We'll get that tape out. And we're gonna cut this whole mechanism, this step mechanism. We're gonna cut it in a different way in just a second. So this is what we have so far. Right? The steps do. See that? Okay, now we're gonna turn it over to this side. And you see this fold down the center? We're gonna cut that too. We're gonna snip right down that center. We're gonna leave the one in the front, but we're gonna cut the one in the back. Okay? So that's how it should look now. Is that what you've got? Now we're gonna tape this down to the base page. Okay? And I think because it's gonna move so much, I think what we'll do is we'll use masking tape because it's gonna move a lot more. So I'm gonna use some masking tape. I know it's not pretty, so if you don't like how it looks, what we can do, because if we tear it, just cut the edges so it looks a little prettier, see? Now the tape looks nicer. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you where the center of this is. See the front of the steps? We're gonna, with this, we've turned the board upside down. And we're gonna line it up just like this. See how that edge right there goes along this pencil line, the lower pencil line? Just like that. And we're gonna tape it down using our masking tape. Ooh, it's a nice cut piece of masking tape. Just like that. See how it's hinged like that and it's attached? Now, let's turn it over. Let's do the same for this side. Only we're gonna add the masking tape a little bit differently. So we're gonna put the masking tape on this way, and we're gonna actually have the masking tape sticky side up. So we're gonna tape it down just along that edge, all right? And it's going, look, it's going under, just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn it around, flop it down. So now when it opens up, look at that. It makes, oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. All right, guess what we're gonna do now? We're gonna tape this side down to this side. And you know how we're gonna do it? We're gonna fold this down. We're gonna use another piece of masking tape, like this. See this edge here? Okay, that light is so bright, it's hard to see. See this edge right here? We're gonna fold it over. We're gonna tape this going sticky side up. So see where it's taped? Now it's loose now. I'm gonna push it down. And we're gonna close our game board. I'm gonna press it. Stay in there. Let's see. Ooh, look at that, it's standing up. Ooh, we can go do. Oh, but this is still free. So we gotta tape that down. So you know what, let's carefully pull up our masking tape so that we can put some tape under here too. And we're gonna do it sticky side up just like we did before. And see what's cool is it finds the right place to go. So we're just gonna put this underneath here. All right, so that's sticky side up, that's sticky side up. We're gonna close our game board. Yeah, that's some straight masking tape. Press it. All right, let's see if it works. Let's see, oh, let's hope, let's hope. Look at that, look at that. So you know what? We can add one right here too. I was afraid we wouldn't be able to. Let's add one step in between there. And it can be a pretty big step, so let's make a bigger step. Let's make one, remember, it's gotta be that width, right? Let's add one more. We'll add a bigger one this time. Maybe one right there. How do you like that? That looks good. What do we use? We used our clear tape. I'm just going to tape it across. So what we did, we actually made layers. These are called, in pop-up speak, these are called layers. And we made a tented V-fold because the V-fold, this is the V-fold and it's standing up like a tent. And then these are layers. And we're using them as steps. And we're going to make that on our game board. Whoa. So during the game board, you'll get to go up here. Okay, now we're going to start making a die. And that's what we're going to use to roll, to move on our game board and everything like that. So we're going to mark on this piece of paper. Let's pull in a little bit. We're going to mark on one side. This is an extra piece of cardstock, by the way. So that's 1 inch from there to there, right? And now on the opposite side, I want to do the same thing. That's 1 inch from there to there. And we do that so that we get it even across the bottom here. So we need to get that even. And see, we're going to line up those marks just like I did right there. All right. So now this whole thing is 1 inch tall. And we're going to mark on this we're going to mark for, let's see, 6 boxes. So 1, 2, 3. Can you see those marks? 4, 5. I know the numbers aren't quite the same, but 6. Okay, so those are 6 going across. And let's do the same up top. On every inch, mark. See how they line up going from top to bottom? Let's see if we can see it going this way. There you go. Okay, so see how those line up to each other? We're just going to take this and connect them. We're going to connect the marks so that we have 6 boxes, 6 squares. Just like that. Cool, huh? All right, so we made parts of our die, gotta get it right. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut some of these out. We're going to count 1, 2, let's move over here. There we go. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to use scissors and cut right there and cut right there. Oops, extra tape. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to fold along each of those pencil lines. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Well, it almost looks like a cube, right? Because a die is a cube. But we need to fill this side and this side. So let's get those other 2 squares. We need you, squares. We need you. Oh, we're coming. All right, let's cut them out very carefully. It's hard when I'm shooting these because sometimes I don't realize I'm supposed to be on camera for parts. So sometimes I forget. Oops, my bad. Okay. So there are those 2 extra. Get out of here, tape. Get out of here. Okay. Now, let's use a little, what should we use? We'll use clear tape. Let's tape this square just like this. And tape it right there. And then we're going to tape the other square on the other side. It almost makes like a cross. See how it does that? See how they're all lined up? So it's sticky side right there, and I'm just going to tape it to itself. All right, so now what we need to do is we actually have to put stuff on this die. So let's get, let's see. We're going to get this is a permanent marker. And we're going to mark, let's see, let's put on here, let's put a 1. So that means go 1 ahead. There's a 1. And then maybe let's pick another side. It doesn't just be random. Let's do 2 over here. All right, there's a 2. Let's find a space. Let's do 3 here. And do 3. Now this is the wacky part. Let's lose a turn on one side. Ew, that always stinks when that happens, right? Lose a turn. Wah, wah. And how about this one? What should be on this one? Lose a turn. And what's the other thing I want to do? Let's see. How about roll the dice again? Roll again. And then let's do something tricky. Let's do, So my game, I want to make people do silly stuff. So this one is going to be sing a silly song. Sing silly, because I love singing silly song. You have to do something wacky on that one. Okay, now's the fun part. Now we can just decorate stuff, but first we have to sort of make a path. Let's make a path with our pencil. And we're going to make a path that we have to follow, and this can be any path. We need to start somewhere, so let's start maybe over here. This will be the start, and I think the end will be somewhere over here. This will be the end. All right, so see how I made 2 circles? And we're going to make a path that goes like up this and down this, and then that's the winner, right? Now, this is going to be the fun part. Now we get to take some different colored cardstocks, different colored construction paper, any kind of colored paper you have, really. And we're going to fill in, we're going to make a bunch of little boxes. And now you could also color it, you could draw it, you could do whatever you want. Maybe that's, but I'm going to start with just cutting out some different pieces of paper like this. And we're going to make little squares, and those are going to be each of the spaces to go. And we're going to use some glue. So let's first, we're just going to cut them out and stick them in place. All right, so let's just keep on gluing down our squares. All right, so now I put in see I have all my little squares going along the whole route. But I don't have any on these steps, so we're going to do that next. But I even made like some different shapes. Like this is the end, that's the beginning. These are going to be like slides, so you can go across. So if you land on this one accidentally, it'll go shh, and it'll push you ahead. And the same with this one. Whoop. But we're gonna draw on this in just a minute. But let's finish doing our little squares. And I've got some extra ones. We're going to just glue them on top of each one of these. All right, look at that. Oh, we got our very own game board. Look at open and close because we let it dry. Look at that. Okay, let's decorate a little bit more. I'm going to use some markers. You can use colored pencils, crayons, and we can just draw all kinds of cool stuff all over this. So let's do that. Okay, there we did. There's our game board. It's all finished. It opens and closes, right? And then we have our game pieces that we made. Look at that. I made a duck, a kind of an ugly fish, and a bunny. And there's our die. That's our die. And now we forgot one thing. Remember that cardboard that we cut from the box? We're going to put it on the outside of our pop-up game board. So what we're going to do is we're just going to very quickly add. All right, our pop-up game board is finished. Look at this thing. Oh, it's amazing. Look at that. It fits right inside. It's got a hard outside. And then on the inside, oh my gosh. And I decorated it and added all these little things like go ahead, go back one, go forward slide down here, the secret passage. And so sing a silly song. And then you won! Woohoo! All right, so you play this with your friends or family, whoever. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in art class. It was so great. You all get A's in art class this week. Yay! Remember, always be safe, be healthy, and also remember, always be kind. All right, I love you, miss you, and see you in the next art class. This is Matthew Reinhart saying bye-bye.